All right, as per usual, technology doesn't always work in the classroom, and it looks like Mediasite's not working. So what I'm going to do today is record on Zoom, and then I'll make a YouTube link for today's lecture, okay? For all you people who are at a distance, all right? Um, Now, this week, what we're going to be doing, I want to say it specifically, we're going to be creating our experiment. We're going to be giving the experiment to as many people as we can, either face to face, if you have people in your home or at the library, or you can send your experiment to people that you know, and then they can write down on a piece of paper from 1 through 24 their yes and no answers. And so we're going to be providing them with consent form, instructions, and all of the things that you need for your experiment. And then they'll take a picture of their answer sheets and send it back to you either through your phone or through email, whatever you choose. And then you'll process the data. Okay, so we'll be talking about all of that plus processing the data and writing a results section today. All right. So I'm going to open up a PowerPoint and just a blank one to show you what you need to do for your experiment. Now, I don't need a title and I don't need anything else on the first slide. All I want to do is ask for people's consent to participate. That's the very first thing I want to do. Usually in a consent form, you'll say you are going to be doing X, Y, and Z. It will, cause you no more than minimal psychological risk if you take this study. And here are the instructions that you're supposed to follow. Do you give your voluntary consent to participate? Okay, so that's usually what we do. So in this case, I would say, let's see, you are going to be participating in an experiment that looks at whether you can tell from pictures whether a dog is homeless or stray. Is that what you're using there? Homeless. Homeless or has a home. You will be looking at 24 slides with a picture on each. On an answer sheet, you will, which you will number from 1 through 24. You will answer yes or no to this question. Okay, is this a homeless dog, right? Is this a homeless dog? Question mark. Okay, if you understand what you are about to do, please write on your answer sheet a statement that says, I agree, let's see, I voluntarily agree to participate. Oop. Oh, what happened? What happened? Go back. To participate in this study. Okay. All right, so these are very specific. You ask people whether they will give their consent to participate. Actually, I need to put another statement in here, and that is looking at pictures of dogs may not cause psychological distress above that which we experience on an everyday basis. Okay, I just need to put that in just to make sure the participant knows that they are not going to be harmed by looking at these photos, whatever they may be, okay? Now, I'm modeling this idea on Riley's experiment, but you know, you guys at home and also you guys here in the classroom, you know that you're going to model this based on your experimental procedure, okay? So you just need to vary the language, but this is kind of the basic language that you'll use in your consent form, which will be the very first slide of your study, okay? So these guys will be writing, I voluntarily agree to participate in this study. And then on the next slide, what we're going to do is say, please, no, instructions. We'll just do this. Instructions. Please indicate at the top of your answer sheet, number one, your gender, and number two, your age. And then again, and then I'm going to go back to the first slide and just copy what I wrote here. You're going to number sheet from 1 to 24 and answer yes or no to this question. Okay, so I'll just copy that and I will paste that. Okay, again, you will number your answer sheet from 1 through 24, and as you click through each slide in this PowerPoint, you'll answer yes or no to this question, is this a homeless dog? Now, if you make this a timed presentation, starting on the next slide, that's okay. And then you want to write that all in here, that this presentation is going to be timed. Every slide you will see will, be presented for 5 seconds. You will look and then write down on your answer sheet what your answer is, okay, yes or no. All right, do we understand kind of so far? Okay, I don't know how to time these things. Do you guys know how to time slides in a PowerPoint to make each one be shown for 5 seconds? Okay. Yeah, we could probably Google it and find out how to do that, right? So if you want to do that, you can do that, and I would encourage you to do so. But if you don't know how to do that, or you don't want to take the time to do that, that's okay too. The only problem is that people will be able to look at each slide for a long time if they need to make their yes or no answer, right? So that's the only drawback to that. But if you're running everybody in person, you don't have to worry about that, okay? All right, these are the minimal instructions. Now, they're going to be writing 1 through 24 on their answer sheet. And then you're going to have this question, is this a homeless dog? And they'll answer yes or no on that sheet. Is there any other instruction we want to put? If you learn how to time these slides, then you could put another bullet point on here that says, the following slides are going to be shown at 5-second intervals. Please do not touch your mouse or keyboard as the presentation goes through, okay? Or something like that. Okay, and then on the next slide, what you're going to do is just make it a blank slide, and you're going to put your picture here of your dog or whatever. And then I'm going to insert a text box at the bottom, and I'm going to put the number of each slide so people don't lose track of what slide they're on, okay? So this will be slide 1. All you got to do is copy this text box and then insert a new slide that's blank and hit paste and change this to slide number 2 all the way through slide number 24, okay? All right, am I going too fast? Do you understand all this stuff? Okay. Make sure that all of your pictures are pretty much lined up in the center so that when people look at them, they'll see the stimulus right in the center of their screens, okay? All right, so you're going to be setting up that experiment, and then you want to save it after you set it all up. You're going to have 12 slides that show the signal, whatever that signal may be, and 12 slides that do not show the signal, but something else. And then you're going to mix up the order of the stimuli and then keep a key. You'll write down, say, slide 1, 2, 6, 7, etc., are signal present trials, and then you'll make the list of signal absent trials, okay? So you, the experimenter, will know which slides are which. All right. Any questions so far? No? Have I been clear? Pretty clear? Okay, good. One student online said that I was all over the place in my lecture, so I want to make sure that I'm crystal clear, right? Okay, go ahead.
I did have a question because I'll be using the Google Slides instead of the
Okay.
PowerPoint.
Yeah.
So
How do those work?
it's the same thing, but as far as like the numbering
Uh-huh.
the different slides,
Mhm.
I'm not like sure on how to do that on here.
Okay.
So it'd be okay if I just did the number of the slide.
Yeah, as long as they can visibly see it, because they're going to be answering on a sheet, right? So they want to match up. Oh, I'm on number 2. I need to write down the answer, right? Yeah.
I put a text box at the bottom, and I put the slide, so that ends it. And then I just changed the number.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
That way they weren't like all over.
Yeah.
Right. That's good. Okay, so there's that. And then you want to save this experiment, the entire experiment, because you're going to be submitting this week let me go to the assignment. You're going to be submitting the experiment in PowerPoint, your continued paper now with a results section, and I'll talk about how to write that in a minute. And then when you get your data, you're going to be submitting also your Excel spreadsheet that shows all the answers, right, for each person. How many hits, misses, false alarms, correct rejections the whole group has. And I'll show you how to do that in a minute, okay? So you'll be submitting 3 things on Sunday night by 11:59, okay? The experiment, the paper, and the spreadsheet. All righty, let's see, back to this. I've just demonstrated how to do the experiment and set that up, so I'll close that out. Do you guys need a copy of that or anything, or you're okay with it? Okay, so you know what to do with that. All right, let's talk about writing the paper. Now, you're going to continue to write the paper. You have so far a cover sheet, the intro section, you have the prediction section at the end of the intro, you have the method section next with the participants or sample, the materials, and the procedures subsections, right? So we've turned all that in as of last week, and I'm still grading a few more. But you're going to continue on that paper after you get your data to write up your results, okay? What does a results section look like? I'm going to show you that now. All right, under the method section, just double space down, it's going to have the word results in bold at the center of the paper, okay? Usually when we write results, we'll remind the reader about our hypotheses. Our hypotheses in this study were just two. We have one for discriminability and then one for bias, okay? The way I've set it up on this slide, you can see H sub 1, that's the first hypothesis. And then H sub 2 is the second hypothesis, okay? So you know how to make subscripts and superscripts in Word? Do you know how to do that, or do you need me to do that? You want me to do that? Don't say, yeah, don't say you know when, you need help. All right, let me open up a Word document here. And let's open up a blank document. Again, we're going to center the word results in bold here, okay? So results. All right. And we're going to say something like the reader will recall that there were two hypotheses in this study, okay? And then H sub 1, I'm going to just type in a 1 there. And then I'm going to highlight this 1 here, okay? Now, do you see up here where it says font? There is a subscript there. Do you see the X with the little 2 at the bottom? And I'm going to click on that, and now that little 1 goes down, okay, as a subscript. If I wanted to make a superscript, which we don't in this case, I could just do that, couldn't I? And that way the 1 goes up to the top. All right, but here in this case, we need a subscript. All right. And then I'll just set up the second hypothesis too. And you just hit the little subscript when you highlight the 2. Okay, you guys see how to do that? Good, good. All right. Now back to the PowerPoint. The 2 hypotheses here. Participants will show low discriminability of 1960s fashion icon photos. That was somebody else's experiment a long time ago. And we're using the word low there, but I want you to use, what were they again? Fair, good. What's above good? There were 5, I think, right? All right, fair, good, superior, excellent, and perfect. Okay. So in this case, for the low here, I guess I would substitute fair. Let's see, participants will show fair discriminability in their, what did I say in the PowerPoint? Oh, okay. Of identifying homeless dogs. So that's for discriminability, and then participants will show liberal bias when making decisions about whether dogs are homeless. I don't know what you predicted, but I'll just put that there as a placeholder, okay? Participants will be biased towards saying yes, okay? So could say it that way too. Participants will be biased towards saying yes when making decisions about whether dogs are homeless. So you can say it either way. Excuse me. All right, so that's the way you set up your two hypotheses in a formal way. All right. Now, after we restate the hypotheses, usually we'll talk about the statistical analysis that we will use in the study. Here it says, in order to test hypothesis one, the researcher recorded the number of hits, misses, false alarms, and correct rejections from all participants. Table one shows the signal detection theory matrix, okay? And you can see I've made a table here. All right, again, in order to test H1, or the first hypothesis, the number of hits, misses, false alarms, and correct rejections were tallied and placed in a signal detection theory matrix. Okay, let me double space all my paragraphs. Okay, it looks good. And I'll just leave this H1 and put a subscript on it like I did up there. Okay, the matrix appears in table 1 below. Okay, so I can just say that. Now, in order to make a table in APA style, I usually make them in Excel and then I copy and paste them in Word, okay? So this may seem like extra steps, but I don't really know how to make tables very well in Word, so I'm going to do it in Excel, okay? All right, let's see if Excel opens up. I don't know. It's going to, maybe this is too much firepower for this Zoom recording. Let me try it one more time. Excel. There it is. Okay, let's see if it opens up. Yeah. All right, good. Oh, what do I do? All right. Signal not found. What does one do here? I may need to stop the recording and start recording again. I don't know. We'll see what happens here. Bear with me.